G'day, guys. Welcome back to Frostbite's G.I. Joe Repro. Glad to see you again. Thanks so much for joining in on my videos. I really appreciate it. And I appreciate it when you guys hit that like button and leave comments for me. Now, I want to talk today about, your G.I. Joe collection. That's why we're all here, right? Like, I do love all toys. Um, I'm really big fans of Star Wars and Voltron and Master of the Universe, but really we're here for the Joes, and there's uh, there's nothing better than sort of curating and improving your collection. Now, when we talk about collections, we do a couple of things. We don't realize it, but we do a couple of things to our collection all the time. So we inadvertently we're planning our collection. So we know what we want and we go out and find it and we put it in there, right? Um, then there's actually building the collection. So planning's different to the building. Planning's just sort of deciding what we're going to put into the cases. And then we have the building of the collection, which is actually how do we display things? And then we have that step of improving the collection. And that's when, like a wise man a long time ago, Michael Green, Rip Greeny, no longer with us. He taught me when I was getting into or recollecting my toys from my childhood. He said, Lenny, just start with the beaters, mate. And, you know, at least then you'll have a collection. Um, and it turned out to be super wise words. He was basically saying, don't go out and spend thousands of dollars straight up on one figure or five figures. Just buy 10 figures for $100, and bang, you're in it. You've got a collection there. So one of the things I enjoy doing is, I'm actually pretty happy where my collection's at. But there's this sort of fourth component, and it's a component that makes me feel real good, and it's actually nothing to do with my collection. And what it is sort of getting onto eBay or getting onto the Facebook marketplace groups. Screw those guys. It's so difficult to deal with Facebook sellers. Um, but getting into those areas and finding these long lost Joe lots. And you'll find them and you'll know what you're looking at. They're weird ones, right? They're not coming from collectors. You'll know when you're buying from a collector and when you're buying from a flipper who knows nothing about Joes. Some warning signs there, and these are things that I'm seeing. Um, they'll be selling Joe figures where the band just needs replacing, but they'll list them as broken. Um, you'll see sellers saying, like, they'll have, I don't know, like a dull tone or something, and it'll have, I don't know, his backpack missing his comms piece, but they'll be like, I know what I've got. Don't try and lowball me. Okay, champ, continue on with your day. And then, yeah, like the biggest sort of indicator I see is just these massive price fluctuations. And I've had it a lot recently. Um, in one of my members only videos, I went through a bag of accessories that I bought from an eBay seller. And this guy is clearly a flipper. Um, he had something like $120 on, I don't know, it's about, I think it was 18 accessories, and half of the accessories weren't even Joe's. Like, they were nothing things. Um, so it's sort of these big price gouges on, like, it's basically not understanding the market. And to me, that is a really big indicator of someone who's not there for the love. They don't care about what happens to these things. They just want to make their money and move on. And I am okay with that. Good job, boys. Like, if you don't do that, then I don't get these weird lots, right? So back to, what I was saying about your collection. There is this fourth component that sort of, for me at least, let me know in the comments if it's something you do or you enjoy doing. But I'll buy these lots and I pretty much have no interest in adding these to my collection. But I just, it's like the leave no Joe behind theory. I see these lots and, there'll be, say, 10 buggered up Joes or something in there, and they just need some love. They just need a good clean up, need their bands changed, and they'll be right to enter back into battle. But they just need that one collector just to take a bit of time with them and help them out. And let me know in the comments if you feel this way. But to me, that makes me feel really good. And I don't know why. Thank you, childhoods, in whatever form it was for everyone watching. But I have a lot of trouble sort of just letting these things sit on eBay for a while. So generally, if I see a lot on eBay, I'll go in and I'll try and engage. If I know the seller, like there's some sellers in the community that I know what's going to happen in the negotiation, and I know it's possibly just not worth it. So if I know the seller, generally I'll just leave it alone. But if I could sort of see that they're just flippers, just trying to make money, then yeah, I will go in and give it a go just to get these Joes rescued and fixed up. And, I always have intent of turning them around and putting them back onto eBay or into Facebook Marketplace, nice and presentable, ready to put in someone else's collection, right? It doesn't generally happen like that. It's not, I don't think I'm at hoarding level, but I really do need to start turning some of these around. Um, but yeah, so today I've received a package. Generally, I don't do mail calls on this main channel. I save that generally purely for my members only channel. If you're interested in becoming a member and seeing all these things I'm opening, and you know, generally there's 1 to 3 videos a week, mostly openings. So if you're interested in seeing what's coming into my house, uh, consider becoming a member of the channel. It When I worked it out, did the currency conversion, it's $1.60 US for a month, and you should be getting between 4 and 12 videos extra. But yeah, so I don't do a lot of these mail calls in my general channel. Um, so yeah, I'm just going to show you what's come in. I bought a lot. I think it was just a small lot. I really had to do some bargaining with this guy. It was getting a bit painful, but I got it. Um, so let me know in the comments. Do you like doing this? Is this something you're interested in, or you just prefer just buying the cleaned up versions? But yeah. Anyway, let's take a look. Okay, here we go. This is the box. It came from um, Adelong Beach in New South Wales. I don't know where Adelong Beach is. The seller is on eBay. Fish and Flips. Good on them. They were fine. Like I said, I did have to do some bargaining and some chatting about this, but whatevs. It's all part of the process. You just got to reach that point with someone of, um, you know, you got to sort of find that nice place where you're both happy. The thing with me for this package was half of it was stuff that I didn't want, and I don't know what I'm going to do with it. I'll probably just put some of that back onto eBay, or I don't know, go leave some figures at a local park, or maybe donate to Vinnie's. Actually, I do that a lot. Stuff I don't want, I'll just take it to Vinnie's, which is our thrift shop over here. They're a religious thrift shop, and they basically make money and then look after people in need. So, if there's stuff I don't want, like trading cards and toys that I don't like, I just take it down to them and they make a bit of money, and then they can help out people. Um, so stay tuned to the end of the video and I'll tell you how much the seller wanted for this and how much I got it for. But yeah, let's crack in. I, uh, I I hardly ever do mail call videos on this channel, but I also don't do a lot of sort of repairy stuff either. Um, I've started doing a lot of videos for my members. They're the people chucking that $1.60 out for me at me to improve my channel, and I really like that. So if you'd like some extra videos in the month, go check out my channel membership, please. Okay, so that's it. And then, oh man, okay, single piece of paper. That's the best wrapping. Um, okay, and you can tell this dude's a flipper because he gives zero shits about whether this stuff gets damaged in the post. You can really see that this person's care factor or respect for these figures is, clearly not the same as yours or mine, and that's okay. Not a big deal in the end. We'll all survive. They've lasted this long, right? Okay. So what I was saying before, there's some core stuff in here. I it's no secret I don't like core. Um, I was interested to see these bikes though. That does not look like core. This looks like core. But we'll just put them aside for the moment. There's his wheel. Okay. Now, there was, you'll know straight away, there was a figure in here that I was interested in. So let's just try and match some of this stuff up. I'll make Guile with the Sergeant Slaughter body. For some reason, had, I think, 3 big boas. Made me laugh, like someone really liked Big Boa. I find this too, like when I do this, it's oddly satisfying in the curiosity area of things. Um, it's, you know, sort of, it's like a skill. It's almost a skill, right? To be able to just pull parts out and know who they go with. And I find that fun. And Frosty is he's real reasonably minty. This was actually the reason that I looked at the lot in the first place. Um, I don't have him in my collection, so it was a good way of getting him. Those legs are loosey goosey. All right, now this stuff will be going. Put him up there. Go there. There was a lot of broken crotches in here. No biggie. Rubbish. Actually, if you're one of my members watching this and you want these figures, let me know. This is not Leonard the Core, and it is not. This is not Joe either. I don't think. Let me see. It's interesting because his hands look like they detach. It's a much smaller figure, but it doesn't look vintage. But it's in with a vintage lot. He's got foot articulation and like he's got full articulation. Maybe this is a Joe, but it's just it's a later version or something. I'll be looking this up. Let me know in the comments if you know what it is. It's um, almost like it's a GI Joe, but what's it doing with this lot is my question. So we'll put that up with the rubbish pile for the moment. That's one of the Leonard space guys. He'll be going. This guy will be going. They should be able to get like $20, 20 or $30 probably. They'll put on those core figures. These old mates waist. This guy, he'll be going. This guy is clearly missing a hat. Something for his head. Something not here. That's old mate that has the chainsaw, triple chainsaw weapon. He'll be gone. It's quite funny too because I have yeah I have a bunch of these to get rid of. So yeah, Vinny's will no doubt love that. This was another reason for getting the lot. Actually, getting a desert scorpion guy. Look at his arm paint, great, and he's still got his soft. Let's put him over here. It's one of old mate's legs. That's another old mate ninja guy. That looks like desert scorpion. Oh yeah, these are all legs for these guys. I don't see a lot of videos out in the community doing repairs. Kiwi Customs from New Zealand is pretty much the biggest Joe repair guy that I have seen. If you haven't seen his stuff, go check him out. He's one of the members of my channel, and I really appreciate his support. It'll be him, and he's got purple waist. That's low light. That's his legs. Put him over here. Low light over here. That's his waist. That's his waist. Now, whose is this? This was. Okay, let's look up Yojo quickly. Subteams. Eco Warriors. That's Ozone. That looks. Yep, that's his. Yep. So then whose is this freaky deaky waist? With the big bum stripe. It's going to be one of those core, I betcha. We'll put him up there. Him out. And then that should be right like that. Okay. We're looking good, man. Oh, some of that band was really falling apart. Okay, well, let's get into this. New screwdrivers. Picked them up. King Chrome. Got them from our local massive hardware store, Bunnings. They've been excellent so far. Oh man, look at that. See that? No. No, it is rusted as in there. I was hoping to avoid. Oh, nice. Hoping to avoid having to drill any pieces out. But that is absolutely fine. Check it out though. It's seen some action. These screwdrivers, like so much better than my old ones. It's literally like carbon through butter. They just work perfectly. If you're in Australia or even in America, like if you see these guys, just buy them. I think it was 20, $25 to $30 for the set. But like I said, they've just been just carving through this stuff. Bit of residue on there. While you're waiting, hit that like button so I know if you're enjoying the content. I got a comment this morning from one of my subscribers asking when I was going to do my next comic video. And that was really good because it gives me the indication of what you guys want to see. Because if I don't get those indications, I'll just sort of just, do what I need to do, which is just keep making content. And I like to try and have a bit of a variety in the stuff that I make so that you guys get the variety. It also makes it nicer for me making a mixture of stuff. Keeps me interested and makes me real happy. But yeah, if you want like certain stuff, let me know. Okay, low light. That leg's fine. That leg is not. Arms are fine. He's not bad. His arm patch is really good. Just that leg and his crotch. That crotch is like super gone. Just carved off. I really need to start learning the crotch repair and the finger repair. Kiwi Customs does a great job of it in his videos. If you're interested in learning, just go and watch his videos on it. It's a skill I've never done before, and it looks a bit fidgety, but um, you know, it's obviously the way to go uh, if you want your Joes to look a bit more complete. But yeah, that's that one. Always, I mean, this is topside, right? But I always think of top deck, which for you American guys, it's a version of Cadbury's chocolate over here, which is the Cadbury's milk chocolate on the bottom and white chocolate on top. So that's why they call it the top deck. Now I've actually got this, guys. I've got a whole heap of Joe parts. Um, I've got a spare backpack for this guy. So I'll probably end up with some of these guys, marrying them up for with whatever accessories I've got, just chuck them back onto eBay. It's not about the money. Like the money's good because then I can buy more Joes. But to me, it's also about fixing these things up, and that way collectors can get the beaters that they need for their collections. Because if people aren't selling these things, how are people getting them into their collections, right? Okay, he's not in bad condition. Um, his left arm's a bit loose. There's no, oh, no, he does have an elbow crack there. He's got him in both actually, and crotch is average, but he is not floppy. All right, come here, Frosty. This will be another one to the collection. Like I said, stay tuned to the end of the video and I'll tell you how much he wanted for all this and how much I ended up paying. I'm sure there'll be people out there saying, "Oh, you shouldn't have bargained for that," or you get some people who will probably say, "Oh, yeah, that was a good price, actually." That's the amazing thing about supply and demand, right? And you sort of find it a lot with these flippers is a lot of the time because they're not emotionally attached to these things. Oh, this is really difficult. Um, they won't be very fussed on the price that they get. They just want to. My God, what's happening here? They just want to cover their costs. Here we go. So it's all about interest, right? Like my interest for these things is to get the couple of figures that I want and clean up the rest and help other collectors. Whereas the flippers, they just want to make the money, and that is okay. If you haven't tried flipping before, give it a go. It's actually a lot of fun. Go and check out your thrift shops, and you got a really good, what is happening? Really good chance of finding some vintage figures like this. Yeah, he's real nice. Real nice. No elbow cracks. Paint is decent. Tight as a tiger. Tight as 10 tight things. So that's great. All right. Ambush. He's got some pretty heavy yellowing. What's happening here? There's a screw in there. It's what is? Yeah, we got it. Sometimes with these screws, and they get so much rust on them, they sort of cover up the whole part of it. So you can see like there's rust all over that. We'll clean that off. The screw itself's fine. These have seen some action. You can see like the screw itself is absolutely fine. There's just rust on that outer. So I don't know. I think that's just time. Maybe humidity has caused this. Same with this guy. I've got, I think, the backpack for him and a couple of the sticks. Ooh, separating. So this will be nice to put some accessories with him and get him back onto eBay into another collector's hands. His legs though, womp womp. That's not great at all. I everything in my will is telling me this guy needs a peroxide bath, but yeah, I've got far too much on my plate right now to be worrying about putting ambush into a peroxide bath. Maybe this guy is a fun school version because he looks like this plastic does not look good. I don't I don't think I've ever seen a fun school ambush. Okay, so just floppy as legs, but the arms are quite good. No, I think there's a crack there, real minor crack. Um, but otherwise, he's not too bad. He's probably a really good candidate for a custom, giving him a paint job. Guile. Um, Horribly, there's no legs for him. So that kind of sucks. Um, but what are you going to do? Oh, he's got a shoulder crack. I don't think I've ever seen that before. You see it just there? And an elbow crack. He's really been in the wars. He'll be parts. He's got blue tack. Is he even? He's got blue tack there, and he's a bit separated. He'll be parts for someone. Oh, actually, that's bloody Desert Scorpion's waste. Okay, the boas. I think boas don't look too bad. The middle guy has some pretty bad yellowing. This guy's not too bad, and the other guy is looking quite nice. Okay. So in terms of wastes, we've got 2 decent wastes and 1 shitty one. So we'll put the shitty waste on yellow guy. Legs, they're average. They can stay with him. All of them aren't that great. All right. So let's get him in there. Oh, waste. So I'd really like to hear from you guys. Do you actively search for uh, just Joes to restore? Not to, not buying them to put in your collection, but just ones to restore. He was a funny character, Big Boa. Like he he wasn't desirable to me as a child because he's just a guy with a punching bag. But as an adult, now that we've seen the classified releases and stuff, he's a lot cooler. And what I can do actually, where is it? Is I've done a few. I've designed his hose. This is what my uh, little repo tray looks like. So when someone buys something off me on eBay, this is where I turn to. It's in one big bag, I'm pretty sure. Oh, yeah, buddy. Got some bipods there. Walkie-talkies, more bipod, Night Viper parts, leg torches. Here we are. So I made a heap of these. These are resin prints and are fragile as. So, I possibly could snap 10 of these trying to get them on, but we'll give it a go. Now, that was the level of detail. Now, I have snapped a lot of these in the past, so don't be surprised if we see a few breakages. I have learnt through my snappings that you have to put this on in a certain manner. And it usually involves putting it on the back first, like that. And then just pull a little bit. Got him. Got him. I think these are actually meant to be silver from memory, um, but what else? I do when I make these things. A lot of the time, I try to make them not perfect. Um, so what I mean by that is, if I make them perfect, then people get upset. Some people get upset and say, "Oh, you're trying to fool people. You're trying to sell them repro stuff as real." I don't do that. I will openly tell people when I'm selling repro stuff. Um, and so, not painting this silver is fine with me with, um, you know, the whole people knowing what they're buying thing. I'll see how I go. I may take it off and give it a silver paint. We'll see. But what do you think? Does it look good? That was hours of design for me to do this. So that's him. And I make the whole punching bag and stand as well. So I'll probably sell these and I'll probably just kit him out with all repro stuff and sell it like that. Even if I don't make my money back, like it's okay. It's just repro stuff. Everything's gonna be fine. That's it. Sort of fine with doing my YouTube videos. You get a very mixed reaction of what people enjoy. So I'll get people who, people have said to me before, I really like it when you're fixing stuff with, with your hands. Like, I don't know if it's a weird OnlyFans thing, just watching my hands. But yeah, people have said really like to see you um, fixing stuff. And then I got a comment this morning saying, "When are you doing your next comic video?" And so clearly that's a priority for people. Um, so it's interesting what aspects of GI Joe that people do like. Um, and it's interesting to me because I just like it all. I don't. I'm not really too fussed on. Um, Not really too fussed on sort of what the type of media is. To me, it's actually who's doing the media. Um, there's some people on YouTube that I watch, and they could really just be telling me how their day was at work, and I would still listen to that. And then there's some people, like some YouTubers, that I just can't listen to them. I don't know what it is. There's just certain aspects about some people that it's I can't do it. And that's the great thing about YouTube, right? Um, you've got enough videos. There's so many people out there doing content that it's okay. Just pick what you want to watch and just watch it. Um, like Lawrence from Punk from Toys, he's raised a really good point in the past of YouTube's this massive place. There's enough room for everybody. Nobody needs to be fighting or saying rude things or being rude to each other. There's enough room for everybody. So yeah, I sort of just watch the guys I like. If you subscribe to my channel and you make some stuff and you'd like my opinion on it, or you think I might like to watch it, drop me a message through my Insta account. I had a really nice subscriber of mine contact me and say, "Hey, bro, I make Lego videos, Lego motion videos. Could you check them out and just let me know what you think?" And they're really good. It's kind of this funny thing that um, YouTube is so big that you don't realize what other people are doing. Like there's so many niches out there that if you're not sort of following or you're not interested in some niches, you just won't see what people are doing. And this guy is loosey goosey. He'll still display well though. He looks all right, but definitely loose. Um, him, I'm gonna leave. I've actually got parts for him. Now this guy, I'm excited. Once I change all these screws as well, I'm going to go through and give these all a bit of a cleanup. This guy will be going into my display, so that's nice. And I'll be keeping Frosty, obviously. Probably the rest. Oh, I'll keep the Desert Scorpion, maybe. But the rest will be uh, probably going back onto eBay. I cringe to ask, but let me know what you think, like your ideas on flipping and stuff. Um, like I said, I don't see a problem with it because how else do we get access to things if people aren't selling them? There's some real hardline people in the toy community. Like I've mentioned in videos before that I've been booted from an Australian toy group, which was primarily a Star Wars group, because they didn't even give me a reason, but that's okay, whatever. Um, but the feeling was because I sell repro stuff, and the Star Wars community, they are very vigilant on repro. For G.I. Joes and Master of the Universe, Voltron, the general feeling that I've gotten is nobody gives a shit. And I sort of like that. Um, like I said, because I'm not a guy that's trying to pass off repro stuff for real. But the Star Wars community, oh my God. Um, they're pretty, some of them can be really full on. And that's okay. That's how they're living their life and collecting their toys. That's fine. And it largely stems from the fact that sellers charge so much for Star Wars weapons, and people just hoard that shit. So it becomes this problem that uh, people want to charge so much, so that when repro stuff pops up, they just get very aggressive. Okay, so Ozone's looking real good. Well, hang on. It's got a fair bit of rust. This is going to be a problem, this guy. screw doesn't want to come out. It's not accepting that one. Let's try one of these other bad boys. So I've just gone to a flathead. Oh, there goes a toy. I can't even latch in on something there. Let's try the next shape down, next size down. It's the head stripped. He's not in a good way at all. Yeah, that's fully stripped. Fully stripped, mate. That's going to be a driller. Oh, hang on. Is he coming out? It wants to. Look at that. You see, it wants to come out. Let's try the smallest size. No, it's too stripped for that. Oh, hang on. What's happened here? That is unusual. That's the first time I've ever seen that happen. Look, see that? That head is completely stripped. Like I've dug into it. It's weird. Either way, that is gone. I'm very happy that's happened. It's just very weird. It's like it was sort of turning. We got there in the end. But yeah, you never want to drill if you don't have to drill. It's like your teeth, I guess. This is actually a really nice scorpion. It's a good army builder. We have a guy here in Australia called Jaden, and he army builds desert scorpions and 86 vipers. Like insanely army builds. You pretty much gotta beat him to the punch if you want an 86 viper or a desert scorpion. I'm not overly an army builder myself, because I think there's a bit of a difference, right? There's people that intentionally go on the search for certain figures, knowing that they're trying to build an army of them. And then there's people that just, if they see the figure pop up, they're more inclined to want to purchase that figure than other figures. I think one's intentional, the other one's a hoarding issue, and that's probably what I have with Frosty. Okay, there we go. So with these desert scorpions, from what I've seen, I'm not an expert, but um, this little side bit, easily broken. Antenna, easily broken. Cloth, easily ripped off. So if you've got those three, that's the key component straight away. Now this guy has got no elbow cracks. Paint's pretty good. He is in really good condition. Happy I got him. Okay. Last guy. This is Metalhead V2, I think. Sure, it's Metalhead. It's not scrap iron. Ooh, and that's dog shit. Yeah, we'll just chuck it. Whatevs. These screws are cheap enough from China. Only problem with getting these things from China is you've got to wait like a month. New band, got a band, got his legs. His crotch is dog shit too. It's oh, the T band is broken. T ring. Thank God the screws actually look pretty decent. I don't have to actually see if I have one of those T rings. Because those things, I don't usually order a lot of those. Yeah, here we go. You can get these 3-packs from China where you get a couple of bands, you get the T hooks, and you get the screws. I think it's like $20 or something. Look at that. Shitload of them. And thank God they're making them, right? Because, like, if they stop making these, how would we fix the Joes? And that's a serious question. That's not sarcasm. Soon as China or whatever stops casting those things, how do you fix your vintage Joes? Apart from doing what the Transformers people do and absolutely scavenge the shit out of old figures. Yeah, there we go. I've got a vintage Snarl. Snarl or Sludge? One of those two. One of the Dinobots. And it was missing a leg screw. And I think that's why I got it for cheap, because it's just missing that part. And I thought, oh, it's all right, I'll fix this up. No, they're like the GI Joes. They're weird screws, and I was a member of this group called the Wreckers Yard, and I asked them there, hey, where do we order these screws from? Their response floored me. It was just just buy a junk transformer and scavenge the screws from there. And I thought, Jesus, what are we, barbarians or something? Like Joe's, you can buy these screws, you can buy the T hooks, buy the bands, but Transformers, I was getting told that you couldn't. And it just really weirded me out. Like, how is it getting done for one toy but not others? Oh, get some arms on him. I don't actually think I've got this guy in my collection. I'm not a massive fan of the character itself. I think the best thing that I've seen is in if you go check out one of my, I think it's my top 50 interesting GI Joe facts or whatever. There's a fact in there with the V1 version of this in the, I think the first appearance that he was in a comic. It shows you the inside of his scope, and in there it says made by Stark Industries, and just found that really amazing. Like, you really don't see a lot of indications that GI Joe is in the same universe as, like your Marvel superheroes. Like, I know it's all Marvel, but we hardly see those indications. All right, so that's our figures done. Let's give them a quick clean up. And for that, I use the highly technical tools of antibacterial wipes from Coles, which here in Australia is, it's just a grocery. Like, it's one of the two big grocery shops here in Australia. I just get one of these wipes. I usually, whenever I get toys, I'll give them a good clean. All right, arms up, bro. So this thing started out white. Let's see how it ends up, because guaranteed it's going to be dirty. And as soon as I do this, we'll go through what this lot was up for and what it cost me. And I only want to sort of give you that information just so you can see what things are selling for here in Australia. He's so nice. Very happy. If you were going to custom this guy, what colors do you reckon you'd go with? Just maybe a plain, like, khaki green or something. Don't worry about the suds on these as well. They'll all dry. Really disappointing about Guile. I don't have a Guile in my collection. That would have been nice. And I don't generally worry about the Street Fighter line, but just with his connection to Sergeant Slaughter, it's a figure worth collecting. And I only know about that connection because of Zazel's work. So thank you, Zazel, for doing your stuff. Okay, here we go. See what he's like up there. Let's see what happens here. These weren't. I don't think they were. I can't remember. They had anything to do with water, like um, color changing or anything like that. I don't think they did. He's not great. He might need a bit of a hit with the toothbrush later on. But I've got him now. That's good. I need to check. This might actually be a better desert scorpion than the one I have in my collection. He's great. I find it interesting with this one. His chrome is so good, like out of the box, so good. But that busted crotch, and it's not even flat. It's actually gone up. It's like just hanging on for dear life. Maybe I'll try and source another crotch for him and see what happens. All right. There's our rag. Actually, wasn't too bad. I've seen a lot worse, but maybe I'll get these a quick going over. Might throw these up on eBay, see if anyone wants them. If not, they'll go to Vinnie's. Interested to find out about this guy, whether he might be a later version Cobra Commander or something. Help me out. Let me know in the comments if you know. It's a nice color, green. It's just a shame it's a cool guy. Bike. I feel like I could do something with it. I actually saw someone do a Street Hawk custom, just of some rando bike they found, and they've done a custom figure. So that could always be an option. I'd probably just look at taking all these stickers off and just hitting it with black and giving it a couple of chrome features. Let's have a look. It's not really the right scale. Is it? Doesn't look right. Can't tell. Is that right? Maybe? Maybe I'll have a play with that. Because otherwise I'd just be taking it. I'd just be chucking it with all these core figures. But we can have a bit of a play with it. See how we go. This thing, I think, is just gone. Oh, I've got the wheel. It's missing this thing on the other side. That's okay. I could just snap this off and put a new bit on it, like 3D print, like design and print a piece. But is it worth it? I don't know if it's just a bin piece or not. Still got its handlebars. What's the scale like on that? It's almost a bit too big. It looks like it'd more fit a 4-inch figure. I don't know. I'll have to have a think about that one. Okay, so as I stated before, this lot was originally up for 99.99 Australian dollars. And chatting to them, I ended up getting, hang on, that was 99. It was free delivery. So $100 free delivery. I ended up getting it for $45. Um, Now, I don't know how you guys look at these things, but when I look at this lot, first thing I notice is half of it is core figures that I don't want. So I don't even count them. Like I don't even consider them part of the deal. So when I look at $99, all I see are the Joe figures. And then, so, you can get rid of those. So, and then these bikes are dog shit too. So I don't look at those. And then when I look at the Joe figures that are included, first thing I look at, like, old mate, no legs, so useless. You may as well just put him up there. Yeah, no good. It's no good. So then we're left with these guys. And then next thing I look at is how many busted crotches are there? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So 5 figures out of there, busted crotches. How many elbow cracks? How many, how many might be loose? Like these guys. So, I try to take a bit of a biased or an unbiased look at them and decide how much I would pay for that. Now, really, out of this lot, I wanted him and I wanted him. They're the two that I wanted. Um, Everything else was just coming with it. I didn't actually know that he was going to be so nice. So out of this lot, I have gotten 3 figures that I wanted now that I've put them all together. Um, probably these 2 aren't too bad. Everything else, so out of that $45 that I paid, here's what I got. And that's what I look at when I look at these lots. I'm not just going to buy a whole bunch of parts and go, you know what, I don't care because it's G.I. Joe. That is a waste of my money. I need to be able to do something with them in the end, whether it's putting them into my collection, putting into, a group of figures that I collect a lot of, or put them back onto eBay nice and clean. So that's my way of thinking when I look at these lots. Um, Let me know in the comments what you think. I know that way of thinking isn't everyone's cup of tea, and that's okay because toy community, we can do whatever we want with our toys. And this is all supply and demand. This guy is a flipper and needed to make his money back. So hence, I've done what I've done. But yeah, if you've made it this far in the video, thank you so much for sticking with me. Really appreciate you guys checking this video out. Check out my channel memberships. Trust me, it's worth your while. Apart from that, hit that like button, sub if you're not subbed. And guys, until I see you in the next video, stay frosty. Bye-bye.